This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social. We're at the Alexandra Palace. Delighted to be joined by Johnny Nelson. Found a gap in the market here. Never done a Super Sunday boxing event. It's a first of many more, perhaps.
Could catch on. Could catch on. I'm thinking, well, why not? Actually, why not? And it's got a nice little buzz about it. It's like there's an audience there that I sat at home thinking, what am I going to watch on a Sunday? Why not? I think, listen, boxing's been on every night, every day going. It's been on a Monday, Tuesday was a fight night, Wednesday was a fight night, trying to Friday, Saturday's the average fight night, now trying to Sunday. Why not?
Yeah, it's going to be a different, different occasion for the fighters. Fighting sort of mid. Fight of the night. Who is fight of the night? Just as then. Zach
Chelli, Lauren Richards. I think that fight is going to be bad. 10 rounds. I think you've got a skillster in Lauren. And he's failed to capture the attention, but he's a very good skillster. Zach Chelli has quit his job. He's committed heart and soul to this. This is his full-time job. He's an aggressive, strong, young fighter that loves and lives the game. I think this is probably a volcano against a tornado. It'd be a good. I think that's fight of the night.
Looking forward to that one. Also looking forward to the man standing to your left, Adam Azim. Headlining on Saturday night or Sunday night, sorry.
And his brother.
And his brother. And his brother. How big of a star is he?
Potentially, this guy is a big, big star. I've told everybody, when you look at former champions that have come out of this country, and you look at how they performed at a domestic level, you see the blueprint to say, oh, shit, this kid's going to go somewhere. Adam is in a position to follow that path and blueprint. So when he fights on Sunday, the fashion of how he gets the win will tell you so much more about where that path can end. And this kid is, I've seen champions come out of this country, and potentially this kid can do it all.
You've been around some great British boxers of all time. Where is he in terms of who does he remind you of in terms of the people you've known before?
At this stage, he has Amir Khan was probably the fastest fight I'd ever seen live. He has the speed, he has the professionalism, he has the power. And now, if he's got speed and power, it makes him twice as exciting as an Amir Khan, because this guy's going to finish you off with speed. His professionalism, it's sharp, it's on point, and you think, wow, this is something new. So this kid's got to still have that same focus, hunger, direction, and if he keeps that going all the way through and doesn't get distracted by the fame, the glory, the success and everything that goes with it, this man can really create a new path for himself and be, fighters will say, I want to be like Adam Azim.
So much pressure on him, though. Such a young age. He says he doesn't help, though. He wants to be the youngest world champion, so he puts pressure on himself. How would you have dealt with that?
Two different fighters. For this young man, some guys are men in the ring from a young age. Some guys have to grow into that, into those shoes. And I think he's a man when the bell goes. I don't know what he's like on a personal level at home. He might be a proper mummy's boy, but I think while the bell goes, he's a mature, good fighting machine.
This could be, well, it is actually, not could be, it is a huge test, a huge step up, I'd say, for Adam. Ryland Charlton is someone who's coming to fight. He will come towards Adam. So hopefully we will see perhaps him go more than one round. We'll see more of what Adam has to offer.
Hopefully, or if he doesn't and he gets the job done, it'll make us realise and expect and believe that this kid can be a world champion. And I know it's big talk to be talking like that at this stage in a fighter's career, but it's the fashion of the win, the fashion of the fight, the fashion of how he deals with domestic level that could tell us his future.
In terms of the roadmap, where would you like to see him go? Obviously, him and Ben have obviously discussed this, that and everything else, but he said to me he'd like to go down the Commonwealth, European, British route. Is that what you'd like to see from him?
If he does it the domestic route, then yes, of course. There's a fight down there potentially with Dalton Smith. I think Dalton has too much experience on him at the moment, but you can see where those roads could cross. And that might be his catapult to the next level if he ends up fighting Dalton Smith and if he ends up beating Dalton Smith. But Dalton Smith's a good fighter that did very well the other week. Boxed under par, he boxed through illness, And this kid's a very, very talented fighter. So now you're thinking, shit, we got two good fighters here at different stages of their career that are going to cross paths. Remember, you know, at one point they were talking about, wow, Adam against Chima, obviously Chima a lot of weight. Then I said, one of these guys are going to lose, so you might as well put these guys together quick. Obviously, I was talking about Chima, put them together quick. Chima lost, but he's a great crowd pleaser. Again, Adam goes from strength to strength.
Another fight that has been announced Tuesday, the press conference for Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith. It's finally here. Huge, huge fight for British boxing.
Good fight for British boxing, January 21st. Smith-Eubank, that's a hard pick. I don't know which way I'd go with that, because I can see why Smith would win, and I could see why Eubank would win. And that is just one of those fights where Smith is, and it's not a disrespect, Smith is not the fighter he was, but the fighter he is still good enough to beat most fighters. And I still think he has that in his locker to beat Chris. But Chris is fresh, he's fast, he's hungry, unbelievably fit, which gives him more ring freshness to deal with it. So timing is perfect.
Pay-per-view, there's always going to be people complaining about pay-per-view, but is this a pay-per-view fight in your eyes, Johnny?
Yes, it's going to be contentious, you know, but this is a fight that nobody's seen. Everybody's curious about. These guys want paying for this fight to happen. If you want what you want, you're going to have to pay for what you want, you know, and that's just how. And so how else are they going to get paid? You know, if you want to watch it, you'll pay. If you don't want to watch it, you won't pay. But they said this is the money we want. If you want it to happen, it's there. So you can't knock them, you can't blame them. They just do what they got to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's also arguments with the Chisora, Fury pay-per-view as well. So, but moving on as well from boxing, from other news within boxing, the IBF situation with Usyk. Do you think that's going to be a major problem with the unification fight next year?
You know what? I think the governing bodies really confused and themselves in regards to the rulings and their decision making, and it's still, remember, they're still a business, so they've got to do what's best for their business. I know sometimes they contradict, they contradict themselves a hell of a lot of times. So you just got to remember they're a business, so they're going to do what's best for their business.
Only a few more from me. Natasha Jonas, there's obviously loads escalating on what her next move is in terms of the Terry Harper rematch and in terms of perhaps Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor. What is the best move for Natasha in your eyes, Johnny?
Best move for Natasha is, wow, does she go Terry Harper? A fight that I think is still in a grass. Yes, I'd go Terry Harper. I know the likes of Clarissa talking about stepping down and coming and fighting here. I'd go more Terry Harper than Clarissa. Clarissa would come here because she knows the love, the attention she gets from here is massive. So I'd go Terry Harper.
Good to see Dillian Whyte back in action on Saturday as well.
Yeah. I don't like Dillian. I like his edge. I like his don't give a F attitude. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll be watching that.
Looking forward as well next week, Tyson Fury, David Chisora?
Yeah, of course. Two fighters are out. You know, it's a story that unfolds. So it's two fighters are out. It's the Tyson Fury show.
I know you got to go, but look, final question for me. It is the US, played in England this evening, 7 p.m. What is the best US versus UK boxing match you've seen or perhaps been involved in?
Nigel Benn, Joe McLaren.
And the reasons why, go on.
Excitement, two big punches, drama. Obviously, sad end to it, but to me, what a fight.